What's up, guys? Welcome to the Invictus Mindset Podcast. Today, we are talking the 2021 CrossFit Games quarterfinals for teams. And I'm going to be sitting down with in-house coach Holden Rethwill and Invictus founder CJ Martin to talk about the logistics, the strategy, the excitement, and where our 4 Invictus teams finished this last weekend. Stay tuned.
But they were still good tests. Nothing against the tests.
Yeah, once they shot out the floor plans.
We kind of all knew. We were like, all right, same workout.
Same workouts, and then we thought, like, well, it would be kind of cool if they were just trolling everybody, right? Like, same floor plans, and then everything was totally different. That would be kind of cool.
Also something I could have seen them doing.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, so I guess it was a little anticlimactic because so many of our athletes did the individual quarterfinals, either officially and submitted on
that's probably pretty true for around the community. I think a lot of people on teams had also qualified as individuals, at least with the top level teams.
And so even if they didn't want to go individual, a lot of them just did some or all of the workouts for fun. So most people had a little bit of exposure to these, even going in.
What do we typically see, like the difference between individual workouts and team workouts? Obviously, on the team side of things, you've got 4 athletes versus 1 athlete on the individual side of things. But what do we typically see with regards to a capacity, especially on test number 1, where we're kind of seeing a little bit more of a sprint type interval versus a pacing type thing, which we saw a little bit.
I mean, Holden's a great example because he's competed at games as an individual and on teams, and I think the training and the mindset to workouts has to change.
Oh, it's completely different. I mean, you're not just working for yourself anymore. It's with any team sport. You know, you're working towards a common goal with other people. So I've always thought that team workouts, while the volume might not be as high as individual workouts, I've found myself completely gassed out, more so after team workouts than after individual ones, just because you're working so much harder, whether it's subconsciously or consciously. Either way, you're working a lot harder. And we actually saw that with the first test. It was a little bit different than the individual one, which was 3 rounds, a break, and then 3 rounds. The rep scheme was a little bit lower for them. For the teams, it was 2 rounds each, but you were alternating a full round. So it was 2 rounds each. You do 15 strict handstand push-ups, 15 dumbbell power cleans, or hang power cleans, 100 double unders, tag your partner, they go, and you each go twice. And then the second one was the handstand push-ups, shoulder to overhead, and double unders. Same thing, you alternate for 2 rounds each. And feedback from both the teams after they finished that was it was actually harder than the individual one because you're ramping your heart rate up, you're going so quick. And the reps were a little bit higher. Granted, you get that extra rest built in, but it's kind of like, is it better or worse having that extra rest? Because having that rest means you have to go faster.
What did you see as the major hiccup there? Was it the double unders or was it the handstand push-ups?
Double unders. With our team, Unconquerable, we had a lot of trips on double unders, which cost us a lot of time. If you can stay smooth and consistent on those, I mean, every trip you're losing 5 seconds. 10 seconds, depending on how quickly you get back to it. And we had a couple athletes that, you know, in that set of 100 double unders tripped 5 or 6 times. And that's 25 to 30 seconds. You do that multiple times over the course of a workout, and that's the difference between getting capped, finishing, or finishing with a good time.
Team Invictus, right? They ended up going real fast on that, but no trips. I think Jen
I think that was the difference.
At the 90-second rep of her very last set of 100, and then instantly jumped back.
I think they had 3 total trips throughout the workout, and we were probably averaging 3 per 100 double unders,
for sure.
Which was the difference in the workout.
Before we move forward, I do want to take a moment. Let's give a shout out. Our Invictus San Diego crew qualified 4 teams to this quarterfinals, and so these 2 guys were really busy this last weekend, coaching and inspiring and motivating a lot of our athletes. For you, CJ, somebody that's really been in the space for a really long time, you've coached tons of individuals, tons of teams. What do you see as the major contributing difference with regards to mindset with teams? Now somebody is working for 3 other people versus just working for themselves. What do you do from a coaching standpoint to motivate and inspire teams differently than individuals?
One, teams are by far my favorite to coach because you have this interpersonal dynamic, and I don't know that you need to do much to motivate. You need to create the environment where the team is going to gel together. But once they care about each other and are willing to be vulnerable in front of each other, like, you don't have to tell them
they
to
motivate
go fast.
themselves.
Yeah.
You know,
Like they want to do it because they don't want to let anybody else down. And it's like Holden was saying, like, he's working harder on a team. You know, there's two things at play. One, physiologically, they become sprint rest workouts most of the time, whereas most individual workouts are longer, kind of more aerobic capacity. And then just psychologically, there's that pressure of like, it's not just me, right? Even if I want to give up, I've got 3 people cheering me on. And
not letting you give up.
Yeah.
You know, screaming in your ear.
So I agree with Holden. I think the intensity gets way higher. But I think, man, like all the intangible things that you learn on teams and the friendships that you make and come away with, I mean, that's what makes, I think, CrossFit so special, is that even in our regular group classes, you have average individuals doing hard things together, and it's easier to bond over that.
Yeah, there's definitely a nonverbal bond through suffering.
Right.
That's very cool. What are your thoughts, Holden, on the pursuit of striving not to be the weak link? Right? Every team is going to have one. We're all going to have a workout where, you know, it's going to be a little bit harder for one person on the team. What are your thoughts there of that being a major pursuit for a lot of people?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a big motivating factor. Nobody wants to be the weak link, but I told my team coming into the season, I was like, look, there's going to be workouts where you're going to struggle. There's going to be workouts where you're going to struggle. There's going to be workouts where you're going to struggle. There's always going to be a point in time where someone will be that weak link, okay? The goal is for the other 3 to pick them up, you know? Because you're only as strong as your weakest link, and if the other 3 leave them in the dust, it's not doing the team any good at all. So it's not just on the weakest link to try to pick up where they're at, it's on the other 3 to pick them up. So that's more important, I think.
Yeah, I think that dynamic of vulnerability